Hello guys, welcome to the video. The newest iPhone 10 will be ready for purchase very soon, but this year, iPhone only come out with two storage options, 64GB and 256GB. With the 64GB priced at the staggering $999, depends on which states you live in, it could cost up to $1,100 just for a basic 64GB model with tax included. So do you really need to pay $200 more potentially for the storage upgrade? Let's find out in this video. To be honest, 64GB is not too bad compared to the iPhone 6s 2 years ago, when Apple was only offering 16GB for their base model. But now it's 2017, we're shooting more 4K videos, playing high-definition games, and have more and more stuff that we need to store on our phone. So let's examine whether we can comfortably survive 1 or 2 years with the newest iPhone 10. I have put stuffs we normally store on our phone into a few categories: operating system, music, games, utility apps such as Google Maps, email, Yelp, banking apps, then social media apps like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Then lastly, photos and videos. Let's examine them one by one. First is operating system and system files. This is pretty straightforward. You need them to run anything on your phone. They take up roughly 8GB and there's not much you can do to shrink them. And the second one is music. For music, I store roughly 300 songs on my iPhone in MP3 format. You can see here it took about 2.5GB. I also use Spotify and YouTube quite a bit for music, so I don't keep a lot of music stored locally on my phone. Now if you only like streaming your music, then that could take up a lot less space. Number 3 is the games. I know a lot of people like to keep a few games on their phone to pass time when they're bored, but they normally don't tend to keep a lot of games on there. So I downloaded a few of the very popular games and see how much space it's gonna take. And luckily it's not too bad. With all 8 games installed, they only took up 1.4GB. The games I downloaded are pretty light. If you download some highly graphic intense games like Asphalt 8 or Nobleman, the size will be much bigger, 1 to 2 gigs per game. So let's see if you keep a mixture of small size games and 2 or 3 graphic intense games, it will be roughly 5GB. On to the utility apps. These are apps like Google Maps, email, Yelp, banking, travel apps. These apps don't tend to take up too much space. You can see here I have downloaded some of the popular apps like Yelp, Google Map, Apple Store apps, Fitbit, Chase Bank, IHG Hotel, Delta Airline. I added them together and they took up roughly 1GB. So these are not too bad at all. And number 5 is social apps. There are apps like Messages, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. I have downloaded some of the apps that most of us use every single day. With all of them added together, they take up about 0.8GB. And now, these apps by themselves don't take up too much space, but they will slowly taking up more and more space if you don't clean up your cached images and videos. So if you are someone that never deletes your text message that contains a lot of images, audios, and GIFs, they can take up quite a bit of space. So I would suggest you to delete them when you are low on storage, since most of us won't look back on a conversation that we had 6 months ago. As for Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, it seems even when you load a lot of images and videos, they don't tend to take up too much space. So let's assume with some stored images and undeleted messages, this category will take up about 3 GB with moderate use. Then the final category is the photos and videos. This is going to be the category that will use most of your space. For me, with 5,000 plus images and 100 short video clips, it took about 22 GB. The reason I have this many photos is because I haven't organized my phone for 2 years. So if you are someone that organizes your image once a few months, you will have a lot more free space. I know I'm guilty of this, but let's be honest, we almost never have need to dig out a picture that we took 5 or 6 months ago. So why not just dump them into your computer or hard drive? As for videos, let's go to the video quality page. Here we can see the video size varies, depends on the quality you want your footage to be. So in the end, we still have about 20 GB. So even if you like to shoot 4K videos, with 10 minutes of 4K footage is about 1.7 GB. So it is still manageable if you move your footage to your computer quite frequently. And if you are an amateur or pro photographer, instead of record everything on your phone, you probably have some nice camera to play with. And in conclusion, a 64 gig iPhone is very usable. Although every user case is different, for a regular user, a 64 iPhone should still be able to fit your stuff and then some. Thank you everybody for watching the video, and see you guys in the next one.